So are life insurance and annuity funnels officially dead? That was the claim that was made by a well-known influencer and coach inside of the insurance and financial industry. And as someone who partners with agents and advisors on the marketing side, I get very concerned when I hear that XYZ strategy is dead because the person making those claims is typically about to sell you something else. And so with this individual being very well-known, very respected, I wanted to take a deep dive into what he was saying, the points that he was making, to see if they were valid, to see if the marketing funnel actually is dead, and see what he recommends as an alternative strategy. So number one, he says that if everyone is using a particular tool or strategy, you want to go the opposite direction. He says number two, with a funnel, the focus is on quantity of leads, not quality. Number three, he says a funnel requires you to fish in a vast ocean and just hope that a whale swims by. And number four, he says it forces you to rely on lead vendors who are dishing out the same leads, the same prospects to everyone else. Now, if I was to take a look at these 4 points, I would say he is 100% valid in his opinion, but I would argue that it is how you use a tool, not what exactly the tool is. So number one, if everyone is using a particular strategy, they just might not be using it the right way. Number two, you need to focus on quality, not just quantity. If it's just a quantity approach, you're going to burn yourself out. Number three, you don't just want to take a shotgun approach to your marketing. You want to take a sniper approach. You want to make sure that you are fishing where your fish are and using the bait that brings those fish in. And then the last piece, you want exclusivity with your leads. You don't want to be working the same exact leads as everyone else. Now, before I show you exactly how to do this, I want to talk about his recommendation. So number one, he says you want to fish out of your own pre-made ponds. I agree with that 100%. You want to make sure that you are, number one, fishing where the right fish are. Like I said before, you're using the right bait that actually attracts those fish into you. Number two, he says you need to become a trusted authority. I love this and agree with it 1000%. With everything we do in our approach, we make sure that we're setting up our agent, our advisor, as the subject matter expert and the authority figure. Number three, he says, only be visible to your ideal clients. Now, with this, I would say you only want to attract your ideal clients and you want to repel those who are unqualified. Number four, he says, create your own inbound, systematic, high quality lead flows that only bring in your ideal client. To me, that sounds like a funnel, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So my thought is that this individual just may not understand what exactly a funnel is. So let's dive into that real quick. So when it comes to a sales funnel, a marketing funnel, what is that? Now, before we get into what it is, it's easier to say what it is not. It is not a landing page. It is not a webinar. It's not an automated webinar. It's not a Facebook ad. It's not a LinkedIn message. It's not an email newsletter. It's not a direct mail piece. Now, what happened was a while back, there's a brilliant marketer named Russell Brunson who came in and he started to popularize the term funnel. Now, what happened was because his end product was a landing page building software, people started to equate a funnel with landing pages. Now, I would say that funnels have actually been around for decades. They were used decades and decades ago, but how you use those funnels is what differentiates what works and what doesn't. Now, what is a sales funnel? A sales funnel is a systematic, strategically crafted customer journey that allows you to attract, nurture, and convert your ideal clients. Notice I didn't say it has to be digital. Notice I didn't say that it has to be a landing page. It doesn't have to be a video. It doesn't have to be X or Y or Z. It is simply a customer journey that is strategically crafted that allows you to attract, nurture, and convert your ideal clients. Now, it can include a landing page. It can include an automated webinar. It can include Facebook ads or LinkedIn messages or emails or direct mail. It can include those things, but those are just elements inside of a sales funnel. Now, when it comes back to that fishing analogy, what happens is, this is where a lot of the confusion comes in, is that most advisors are sold the gear. They're sold the tools. Now, take a step back. If I was to go into a bait and tackle shop and I was to tell the guy behind the counter, hey, I want to go catch the best fish. And if he just pointed me to the back wall and said, hey, that fishing pole is the best fishing pole. Gold plated, it's $4,000. That is the best fishing pole you can have. And then he holds up some power bait and says, this is the best bait that you can use. That is exactly what is happening to agents and advisors, where they're getting sold the fancy gear. They're getting sold Facebook ads? Are they getting sold seminars or radio ads or messaging automation or a webinar or any piece in between? But that is where you can potentially get burned. So before you buy any sort of tool, before you buy into any sort of strategy, you've got to ask yourself, what kinds of fish are you looking to catch? Where are those fish located? What kind of bait do they like? Do they eat in the morning, the evening, all day long? Are they freshwater? Are they saltwater? Do you need a sturdy pole? Do you need just a net? Are you spearfishing? Those are the kinds of questions that you need to ask yourself about the clients that you are looking to attract. So before you dive into, hey, I need a funnel, or I need a landing page, or I need X or Y or Z, you got to first figure out who you are looking to bring in. Who is that whale that you're looking to attract, right? Now, diving into the marketing side, when it comes to any sort of long-term marketing success, there are 3 steps to that. You need to be able to attract your ideal prospects, you got to be able to nurture them, and then you've got to be able to convert them. Those are the 3 things that you need to do on repeat. Now, when it comes to attract, that is simply the traffic source. That is where your dream clients currently are. You got to figure out, where do they currently congregate? Are they online? Are they in person? Are they going to respond to direct mail? Do they actually check their mail? Do they check email? Are they on Facebook? Are they on LinkedIn? That is going to be specific to you. So figure out where your ideal prospects and your ideal clients currently congregate. Number 2, you got to be able to nurture these individuals. You have to be able to provide education that positions you as the authority figure, the subject matter expert. When it comes to high value prospects and high value clients, business owners, successful professionals, high net worth individuals, chances are they already have financial and insurance people in their network, people that they know. So you need to be able to nurture them, educate them, and indoctrinate them to the point where they understand why they need to work with you, which leads to the last step, conversion. You need to continuously be offering the next step that prospects should take, so that when they are ready, they don't have to guess what the next piece is or what the next step is that they need to take. So let's dive into some actual examples of what this can look like. So with that attract phase, let's say that we want to use either direct mail or email as that traffic source. And as part of the nurturing phase, we're going to drive them over to a seminar or a workshop. And then after that seminar or workshop, we're going to convert them by getting them to an in-person meeting. Let's flip it a little bit. Let's say that we want to attract people off of LinkedIn. That's where our ideal clients are. That's where the business owners are. That's where the successful professionals are. So we want to attract them from LinkedIn over to a retirement video, a retirement VSL that positions you as the authority figure and educates them on why they need to move forward with you. Next step, we allow them to book an online meeting. Now, whether it's in person, like you're seeing over on this phase, or it's in the digital world over on this phase, the next thing that you have to keep in mind is you have to put these 3 steps on repeat. You have to continue to attract, continue to nurture, continue to convert on repeat. And that is how you win. Whether you call it a funnel or you call it something else, those are the 3 steps. So whether you are looking at doing LinkedIn or email, or you're looking at videos, you're looking at seminars, you're looking at email marketing, you're looking at newsletters, whatever that looks like for you, it could even be referrals. You need to make sure that all these 3 steps align with attract, nurture, and convert. Now, ironically enough, that is exactly what a funnel is. A funnel is simply a way to attract people, nurture them, and convert them in a targeted method that you have strategically crafted that is the perfect journey that your prospect can take to go from a prospect to a paying client. Now, inside of this is where you got to be really careful, is that you can't just attract somebody once. You can't just nurture them once and then hope that they convert. Because if you do that, that's where the inefficiencies come into play. That's when people think that X, Y, or Z strategy doesn't work, like a funnel, because you are only taking a one-step approach to be able to attract, nurture, and convert. Now, let's say that somebody comes through and they end up showing up to your seminar, to your workshop, and they don't book a meeting. Does that mean that they're dead? Does it mean that they're unqualified? No, it just doesn't mean that. It just means that that person has not received the epiphany or the light bulb moment that helps them understand why they need to move forward and work with you. So make sure that as you're doing that, if somebody doesn't convert at one of these stages, you're able to recycle them through your funnel or through your systematic approach. So when we are working with our agents and our advisors, number one, we always set them up as the authority figure. We want to make sure that the prospect or the potential client sees that person as the expert. They see that person as the information source. They see that person as the problem solver, as the one with the solutions that they need to turn to whenever they're ready to alleviate the financial burdens in their life. Next step is they need to make sure that they are targeting and attracting their dream clients, making sure that we are consistently bringing in the right prospects and we are able to weed out the wrong prospects. Very, very important in that process, but it all starts with that attraction phase, right? Being able to bring them in, provide value, and encourage them to take targeted action steps toward conversion. Now, this is where things get very, very fun, but it can get very, very messy if you don't do it correctly. When we are putting together a funnel, it is a comprehensive campaign that attracts people, nurtures them, converts them, but then allows that process to happen on repeat. So when an agent or an advisor comes with us, they decide, hey, we're going to get on board with you, we make sure to build out over 12 months worth of campaigns, nurturing sequences, so that when somebody comes in the door, when somebody comes into our agent or our advisor's network, we are not letting them go. We are not letting them guess where they need to turn for help when they're ready. So we put together all those campaigns that have to do with tax-free, tax advantage planning, life insurance reviews, financial optimization checklists, or asset-based long-term care, or annuities, or whatever it might be that our advisor specializes in to help their clients grow, access, and protect their wealth. And that is exactly how you're able to take advantage of the low-hanging fruit, where Eagle Star right here was able to submit a case that was $50,000 a year in annual premium, $28,000 in target premium. We have Juan over here on the right who's talking about all the cases that he was able to bring in within 90 days of putting together this funnel system, but it also sets you up for those long-term wins as well. Where we have Kara here who is attracting people that are currently worth 8+ figures, and she was saying that she's got people inside of her pipeline right now who we've been nurturing for over a year and a half that are finally reaching back out to her as the authority figure, as the subject matter expert, to alleviate their financial concerns. So that is exactly what a funnel is designed to do. Going back to the original individual, it's not that the funnel doesn't work, but you have to be very, very careful with how you use a funnel and what your perception of a funnel is. It has to be able to attract the right people, nurture them, and convert them on repeat, and you have to systematize that process. So if you want to see how this could look for your business, see if it might be a fit for you, and see if a funnel might or might not be a fit, go to chatwithtyson.com. You can grab an appointment directly on my calendar where we can take a look at your business specifically and see what strategies might make the most sense. Funnels are not for everyone, but when it's the right fit, it can do wonders. So appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon.